the fireworks statistics for 2008. They've never released them this late in the year, and they're releasing them as we speak in Washington. So we're kind of doing a double scoop here, which is kind of cool. Consumer fireworks can be very dangerous and change lives forever by causing permanent injuries and sometimes even death. Fireworks safety is so important. Last year, nearly 7,000 people were sent to emergency rooms for treatment of fireworks-related injuries, and there were 7 associated deaths. Emergency department-treated fireworks injuries show a significant upward trend since 1996, according to the Consumer Product Safety Commission. No doubt, at least one of the reasons is that the amount of fireworks available in the U.S. has more than doubled. The reason that the Ohio Eye Care Coalition cares so deeply about this issue is that the eyes are the second most injured part of the body, with 1,000 of the 7,000 injuries last year being to the eye. Children and young adults under the age of 20 had 58% of the estimated injuries last year. Burns were the most common injury to all parts of the body, except the eyes. When it comes to the eyes, the injuries are caused mainly by contusions, lacerations, and foreign bodies in the eye, which occurred more frequently. We care about this because eyes are one of the few organs of the body that can't be transplanted. We like to say when it comes to eyes, you get one pair and no spare. On Independence Day, in any typical year, more U.S. fires are reported than any other day of the year, and fireworks account for half of those fires, more than any other cause of fires, according to the National Fire Protection Agency. Some of you may remember, just last 4th of July holiday, an apartment building in Toledo burned to the ground, causing 200 people to be homeless and hundreds of thousands of dollars of damage. Arson investigators say evidence collected at the scene points to people playing with fireworks. They believe a lit firework landed on top of the roof and started the fire. Prevent Blindness Ohio supports a total ban on backyard fireworks, including sparklers. Last year, 800 serious injuries occurred due to the use of sparklers, and of course half of those we would guess would be to children under the age of 5. Firecrackers accounted for 900 injuries, and rockets accounted for 300 injuries. Prevent Blindness Ohio's message is simple, and our position is simple when it comes to backyard fireworks. Fireworks are extremely dangerous. Do not purchase, use, or store fireworks or sparklers of any type. Protect yourself, your family, and your friends by avoiding fireworks and sparklers. Attend only authorized public fireworks displays conducted by licensed operators, but be aware that even professional displays can be dangerous. We have several presenters who will talk about various aspects of fireworks safety and then open the floor up to questions at the end.
Good morning. Consumers should be aware that half of all fireworks injuries are to innocent bystanders, many of them children. Of nearly 7,000 fireworks-related injuries last year, 40% of those were to children under the age of 15. There are a few guidelines to respond to eye injuries. Do not delay medical attention. Even the mildest eye injuries can potentially occur in blindness or permanent loss of vision. Avoid giving aspirin or ibuprofen. Non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs can thin the blood and cause increased bleeding. Do not apply any ointment or any medication. It is probably not sterile. Ointments can cause the eye to be more slippery and delayed in treatment and medical attention. The best tip I can give you is to not purchase store-bought fireworks of any type. Protect yourself, your family, and your friends by avoiding backyard fireworks. Thank you.
Good morning. Thank you for being here today. This is a very important topic that we're talking about. Just as a way of introduction, in addition to my role as director of the Center for Injury Research and Policy at Nationwide Children's Hospital, I'm also a pediatric emergency medicine physician and have worked for over 2 decades in large pediatric trauma centers taking care of children with injuries, including injuries from fireworks. I chaired and was also a member of the American Academy of Pediatrics Committee on Injury, Violence, and Poison Prevention for about 10 years, and I was the lead author of their policy statement on fireworks-related injuries to children. I was also the Academy's representative who worked with the National Fire Protection Association to establish the Alliance Against Consumer Fireworks, which now includes more than 20 national, medical, public health, and fire organizations. And as Sherry mentioned, I've also conducted research on injuries related to fireworks. We now have 3 large studies, 2 of them here in the U.S., large national studies. And as someone who's considered an expert on this topic, I have one of the most important messages to give you right now that I'm going to say today. There is no safe way to use backyard fireworks. Every legally available type of firework has been associated with serious injury or death. 3 years ago, in 2006, we published a national study of consumer firework-related injuries to children. These were children younger than 20 years, treated in hospital emergency departments across the U.S. during a 14-year period. There were more than 85,000 children injured in that study. Burns accounted for more than 60% of the injuries. The eyes, the face, and the hands were the most commonly involved parts of the body. One of the most important findings of that study was that 22%, about a quarter, of children who were injured by fireworks were bystanders. They were not handling the fireworks, rather they were simply spectators. There was an estimated 19,000 child bystanders injured by fireworks in that study. These are the children bystanders, and they disproportionately accounted for about 1/3 of those requiring admission to the hospital or transfer to another hospital for advanced care. And this tells us clearly that these are severe injuries. And it also tells us that by simply being near someone using fireworks places a child at risk of injury. This dispels the myth that it's safe for a child to watch as a parent handles backyard fireworks. Now, these findings agree with a similar earlier study that we did back in 1996 that we published on fireworks-related injuries to children. These were 300 children younger than 18 treated over a 17-year period in one emergency department at a large children's hospital in Kansas City. The injuries in this series of young patients were quite serious. 11% required admission to the hospital. 1 child died. 5% went to the operating room. 10% had permanent, long-term effects of their injury, including 2% with vision loss. In that study, the injured child was a bystander in 26% of the cases, which agrees with the previous study. In addition, a very important additional finding was included, and that was that adult supervision was present in 54% of the cases. More than half of the time, a parent was right there at the moment of injury. And as an emergency medicine physician, I can tell you the words I hear practically every time a child comes into the emergency department for one of these injuries. The parent will say, "Doctor, I was standing right there. It happened so quickly, there was nothing I could do to stop it." And I want to assure you that these are good parents. They weren't negligent, they weren't misusing the fireworks, they simply had bought the myth that these products are safe to use. So, another important message to parents. Close adult supervision is not enough. The use of backyard fireworks is unsafe under any conditions.